In this video, I'll be showing you how to make use of the form mode command within the command bar. Now, just to give you a context, say, say this is my simple model-driven app, and this is the app through which I can access the backend components. So I have this table called as Commonwealth Nations. So if I go inside the record, then I get to see that this record has now opened in an edit mode. Okay, so I can edit the values within the forms. Now, similarly, if I go back and if I click on new, now this time I'm not in edit mode, but I'm in new mode. So think about a scenario whereby if there is a new user who is adding a record within the system and then the user wants to know some more information about how to fill the form. So in that case, it is wise to have some instruction for the user. Now, as this form is in new mode, the system should understand that this form is in new mode and show only the button which is related to the new instructions. And also, if a user goes back to the existing record, then another button should appear which will show some instruction related to the edit actions. Okay, so in order to do that, first what you need to do is like go into the apps, whichever app you want to configure, just open the app in edit mode. So in my case, I have this various apps listed over here, but I'm going to use Combinations app. So I'll click on edit, and once it is in edit mode, I'll just show you how to edit it. So if I go over here, you edit this app, and then once you are in this edit mode of this app, you go into the view, and then within that view, click on edit command bar, and then you can either edit or edit in new tab. Once you do that, you will be presented with the information over here. Now, I have various buttons listed over here. So first thing, what we are going to do, we are going to create a new command. Okay, so I'll just create a new command and I'll name it as mode, and I'll use an icon, maybe just say icon or view icon. Yeah, so maybe let me just use any this icon. Okay, so this is the command basically, and within this command I will be just identifying what kind of form mode it is, whether it is a new mode or an edit mode. So in order to do that, if I click on this action run formula, I'll go and open formula bar, and I'll just say notify. So I'm going to notify the user, and I'll say the form is in, and I will be putting something called a self dot selected dot, and then there is an option called as state. Okay, so self dot selected dot state. Now depending on the state, I will be coming to know that whether that form is in a new mode or is it a form is in edit mode. Okay, now this is just like one of the way through which you can identify the form modes. Okay, now accordingly what we can do is like say if you have some sort of an instruction, I will be making use of visibility to show the form, either show the command in either an edit mode or in a new mode. Now just to start with, I'll just make this simple change, and I'll just save and publish, and let's see what happens once the form is published. So the whole goal is like if you create a command and if you want to show some instruction to the user when the user starts filling the form in the new mode and in an edit mode, so there might be different instruction for different set of users. So this will be like a good case study for the users. Now let this app publish. We will do one more thing. What we can do is we are going to click new, and then we'll click a command. Now before we go that, just to start with, like what I've done over here, like when I opened this app, I clicked on edit command bar, I clicked on edit, and then I went into main form because we are operating on main form and not on main grid. Okay, so just to give you a context, and that's why whatever you see over here is from a part of the main form. Okay. Now, once this information is published, let me play this app. Let me close this. And this is a list view or a grid view. And if you go inside the record, you will be presented with that options, the menu item which we just created called as mode. So if I go inside a record, then I should be able to see mode. Now, if I click on mode, then it says the form is in zero. Okay, so zero is the item. And now if I go back and I'll click on say new. Okay, so let me close this message. And if I click on new and if I click on mode, then it says the form is in one. So that means when you are in an edit mode, the number is zero. When you are in a new mode, the number is 1. And when you are in a view mode, the number is 2. Okay, so you just need to remember that enums. Okay, and accordingly we can start working on various commands. Okay, so for here again, I'll click on new command and I'll say this command is for the person who's coming new to fill this instruction. Okay, so new record instructions, and I'll use a help icon. If there is a help, yep. So for new record instructions, the visibility, if you want to show only for the new uh, record creation, then you say show on condition from formula, and then on select, we need to write something, right? So we'll just say self dot selected dot state equal to form mode. And now we have options, right? As I mentioned to you, there's an edit option which is 0, new option 1, and view is 2. So we'll say we just want to show when the form mode is new. Okay, so self.selected is form mode.new. So this will only appear when the form mode is new. Now similarly, what we are going to do, we will create a new command and we will call this as existing record instruction. I'll just write existing record instruction. I'll put in a short form and I'll use an icon, and maybe I'll just put something like this. Okay, so existing record instruction. And then from here, from a visibility perspective, I will only show this when uh, the form mode is in an edit mode. Okay, so I'm gonna see what I have written in new record instruction. I'll just copy this and I'll go over here, and from a visibility perspective, I'll just copy this entire thing and say this will be only visible if it is in edit mode. Okay, form mode or edit. Now what are you going to do when you click on that button? You're going to put some instructions. Okay, so in new record, I will just say notify, uh, this is a new form, please fill all items with mandatory fields, please ignore contact field. So some instruction for the user who is just filling this form. Okay, so this is how you specify the notify. Now for existing record users, again, when the user clicks on that button, you click on that formula bar and say notify, this is a you are editing a form. So let me change something over here to say you are editing a form, do not edit, say, mandatory fields, only fill in contact details. So some instruction for the user, and I'll just remove this true, and all good. So what we have done, we have created two buttons. One is new record instruction and one is existing record instruction for the user to guide them when they start filling the record. Now, for the new record, in the formula we have written, this is a new form, please fill all items with mandatory field, some instruction for the user so that they can fill the form accordingly. And also the visibility condition is this will be only available when the button, when the form is opened in a new mode. For existing record, we have shown the visibility when the self.selected.state is form mode.edit. So that means if the record is in an edit mode, and there are some instructions for editing a form. Okay, so this is how the commands are created. So I'll just click on save and publish. So form mode dot new, form mode dot view, form mode dot edit. So these all are kind of an enums which will help you to gauge the state of the form. So edit is 0, new is 1, view is 2. And based on that, you can put that in a visibility, or maybe you can use in action, and then you can check if the form is in edit mode, then show this instruction. If a form is in new mode, show that instruction. And thereby you can segregate those options for the users. And once this app is ready, you can just go ahead and test it. So once this is published, I'll click on play. Now, these are useful for scenarios whereby you can make that segregation between the view mode, the edit mode, the new mode, and also you can selectively show the user the options of to various record items depending on the permission which the user has on a record. So if a user has an edit permission, user can just go into the record, and then they can just check what is the option. Okay, so now what we are going to do first, we'll go into the record and I'll click on new. So I'm in a new mode, so I'm creating a new record. Now as a new user, I do not see the edit instruction, right? I see the new record instruction. Now, as you see over here, we have created existing record instructions as well, right? But that is not available because the user is just filling the form newly. Now, if the user wants to know what kind of information I should fill in, so if I click on new record instruction, it says this is a new form. Please fill all items with mandatory fields. Okay, so I'm gonna just fill in, uh, say, send kits. Okay, and that's it because that's only mandatory field. Okay, and I'll just click on save. Okay, so this is how I get to know about the save mode. Now I'll just close this, and now if I go back into the record, so if I go into, say, Ghana, so this is one of the record which has been filled. Now I'm in an edit mode. How do I come to know I'm in an edit mode? We have created this mode button or command. If I click on mode, it says form is in 0, so that message is in edit mode. Now I can see the existing record instruction and not the new record instruction because the form is in edit mode. And now if I click here, it will give me an instruction on, you are editing a form, do not edit mandatory fields. Okay, only fill in contact details. Okay, so let me fill the contact details. I'll select Alex Wilbur and I'll click on save. So this is how you basically use the form mode to check whether the form is in new mode, edit mode, or view mode. So that's it, folks. This is all about the self.selected.state, which allows you to understand what state the form is in. Thanks for watching.